Happy day, happy day. New yarn in today. And I have been having so much fun making corner to corner pocket shawls. I was on a pocket shawl kick, and then I guess it was maybe a couple of weeks ago I tried corner to corner for the first time and having fun with that. Now I see what the big deal is. And plus, got these beautiful babies in furls. I also understand what the big deal is with these now as well. And so I have these available. Personally, I just love the nickel coating. I love that on my knitting needles, and I also love it on these hooks. So anyway, gonna do a corner to corner pocket shawl using ice yarns. Another thing, recent discovery. I'd seen ice yarns on many videos, and a friend and I were talking about it actually. We thought that it was an Eastern European thing, and then I saw a YouTube video with a lady unboxing, and well, turns out it's not. So this is Ice Yarns Ambient, and this is 100 gram. It is 134 meters. I always prefer yardage, but anyway. And I'm going to use a is this a 7 millimeter? Yeah. 7 millimeter hook. It's a K. Doing a pocket to pocket. Doing a corner to corner pocket shawl. Doing a bunch of these. I'm trying to get enough done for the long-term care residents in my local hospital. And I need to get a video done, okay, all my fabulous local people, because I need help getting all these done. So if you've never done corner to corner, super fast, super easy. If you can chain and double crochet, you can do corner to corner. And with these slow color changing yarns, I've made a few now, and these are just beautiful. These are beautiful. This color, oh, is there a color number? Yeah, I don't think they give color numbers. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. But anyway, this is a number 5 bulky weight yarn. It is machine washable. And if it's going to something like a long-term care facility, it really needs to be an easy care yarn. So now there are a couple of different methods for doing corner to corner. Of course, being me, I watched tons of videos and read articles and everything else on corner to corner and did samples. And what I decided I liked best is what's called the 5x2. And it's really 5,2. It's not 5x2. But anyway, what I love about this corner to corner concept is it's basically entrelac for crochet. Because I've done entrelac and knitting, which I love, absolutely love. And I did a lot of searches and finally found a lady, an Eastern European. I'm not sure what country she was in, but I could not understand a word she said, but she did a true entrelac Tunisian crochet. So this is the same idea, is making something look interwoven. And here we go. Here we go. So going to start with a slip knot. And Sheila's right under my left arm, so I'm a little awkward right now. And going to begin with chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this chain 2, going to skip the first 2. Don't count what is on the hook. Skip. I turn mine over and work in the bumps, but you can do it any way that you like. Going to skip the first 2 bumps. Go in, do a double crochet in this one. The third one from either end. 1, another double crochet. Going to do 3 double crochets in a row. And 3. Okay, so we did 3 double crochets. So this was our turning chain. That's where we turn. That's 2 of the chain. Hello, Colo. And then 3 double crochets. Now the way that this works, if you've never done the corner to corner, so now there are going to be 2 squares on the next row going at the other angle. Okay, so these stitches are going this way, and now on top of this we're going to have a square here and a square here with the stitches going in that direction, and the next 3, 4, so on. So whenever you're beginning a new row, which we're about to, okay, chain 5. Just like with the first one, we began a row. And going to begin the row the same way, which is go back to the 3rd stitch and then do 3 double crochets in a row in the chain. Now, these are hanging down side by side, little bunny ears or something, but I'm going to flip one up so they're going in different directions. Now this was those 2 chain stitches from that beginning chain. In there, going to do a slip stitch. And see that draws, see how these stitches are going in this direction? And then these double crochets are going in this direction. And then going to begin this box with chain 2 and then 3 double crochets in that same space. Okay, and that way these look the same. We have the chain over here. This is the chain, 3 double crochets. Here's the chain, and then 3 double crochets. Now this was 2 squares on a row, or 1 square on a row. Now 2 squares on a row. That means we're beginning a new row. Chain 5. Begins the same way. 3 double crochets beginning in the 3rd chain and then going back to that 1st chain in the corner. Okay, so that made a block. And again, these are hanging side by side. Flip, doesn't matter which direction. Flip, and then these are 3 double crochets, and then this is the chain, the 2 chain stitches here. Going to work into this first with a slip stitch, and then with 2 chains. Follow that with 3 double crochets. So if you look, every block is made up of the same thing. Every block is made up of a chain of 2 and 3 double crochets. Even that turning chain, or that new row chain, that chain of 5, the first 2, there's the chain of 2 and then 3. I have gotten Colo. The kitten's having a good time this morning. Okay, this is where I began. All right, and so what did I go to? I went to, however, this is how many rows you've done. So I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 rows. And that looks like a good width. I'm going to see how wide that is. And so that would be 11 inches wide. Now, at the end of row number 13, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prevent it going this. I've decided, hi Colo, I've decided this is how wide I want it to be, and I'm on the last block. And so let's see. This is the second double crochet and the third double crochet. Now, instead of doing, oh, there's a colo here. Instead of doing the chain 5, okay, which would make it wider, I'm just going to do chain 2. Okay, not going to make an extra block over here, just going to chain 2, turn it, flop it's more like what you're doing. And now some people go back and do slip stitches in here. If you want to, you can. I haven't found it necessary. And I'm just going to go up and do my slip stitch and then continue with chain 2 and same as always, and then 3 double crochets. I'm going to work across because now if you look at this bottom corner, it didn't go out further. Now it's going to go straight up. So on one side, I'm going to continue to do, because I'm going to work straight up and then continuing this side, every row I will do the same way, just the chain 2, turn, flip it over, and go back up. And that'll create a straight edge going up this way, and then continuing to make it the 5 part, the chain 5 and turn, we'll build this further and further up, which normally that would mean further and further out, like that. Well, we want that to continue, but want this side to just go straight up. So if it's laid on its side, this is the way you're actually working. This is the way you're actually working. So this is going to go that way, okay? We're not, excuse me. So this row is going to continue, on this side it's going to continue to get shorter, and on this side it's going to continue to get longer. So this is increasing over here, decreasing over here, so that it goes in a straight row. All right, so now I'm going to go until the longest part is as long as I want the scarf to actually be without the pockets. So I will join you whenever that gets done. I hope you're having a blast. Okay, so now I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to begin decreasing both sides at the same time. Okay, I've decided this is how long I want it to be. Okay, so I'm working this way. So this is going to come across this way, so decreases over here. So we have decreases coming this way and no longer increasing on this side, which will be work similar to a decrease. So what we will do, so I've decided this is as long as I want it to be. On this side, this is the longer side. Okay, so you're going to chain 2. Had been chaining 5, going to chain 2, and then turn and go right back up. Not going to go any further in length. Slip, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and continue across. Okay, so here is the other edge. To hold it up, this is the edge and the bottom, and then down here, this is the other side. And so here, going to crochet, chain 2, and turn, and then go back up, slip, chain 2, and continue on. So this side over here, going to continue to work it. I'm going to continue to work it the same as I have been. And then on this end, I'm simply going to do the same thing, but creating the other edge on the bottom. Come to here, then instead of going beyond with chain 5, stop here, do the chain 2, and start the next row. I think you've got it. Let me know. This is, I've just fallen in love with this C2C. This corner to corner has just, and it works up so quickly. Just like I love entrelac knitting, Tunisian entrelac, that this is the equivalent in crochet, and I find it just as methodical and simple, and it just goes so darn quickly. It's rather meditative. Okay, I'll meet you whenever I have finished the bottom edge. These colors are gorgeous. Slip. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to, well, actually I'm going to take this out. I go through here, bring my yarn to the back, and this just makes it really smooth for what I'm going to do next, which is I'm going to do I'm just going to do slip stitches, 2 slip stitches to get me back to this corner. Here's one. Here's the bottom of the scarf getting ready to begin the pocket. Okay, and because the end was over here, I wanted it to end out on the corner. Go ahead and do one more slip stitch. And the pocket is going to begin over here. So I'm going to turn this around. Now I like to do the pocket in granite stitch because it's a tighter weave, and because see, too easy to lose things in a pocket made with the corner to corner. So I am going to do chain 1, not chain ones, but single crochets, and I'll do 1 for each stitch. That means I'll do 3 stitches for each block. Like this is a block, I'm going to do 3 single crochets up here. This is a block going this way, I want to do 3 single crochets. So with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's going to be 39 single crochets across, and we need an even number. So granite stitch pulls in a little bit, so we'll make it an even 40 instead. And can put that extra stitch anywhere. I've got you going all over the place. Sheila, baby. Now I need to get you up on top. And I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I do my single crochets all the way for these 3, even though this is up here, because I have to go so deep with these to get the single crochets. I just go deep on these right here also. So I'm going to do a single crochet right in that first space. And I'm going to go into that stitch. And see that normally I'd do here, but instead I'm going all the way down in here. Getting a really big bite. So that was 1. 2. 3. I'll get 1 in here. 1. 2. 3. these lighter colors over here be able to see better. One, two, three, one, two, three, one. What I'm going to do is about the middle, grab an extra stitch to make it 40 instead of 39. See how you're looking? Yeah, it's looking pretty even. And now you'll be able to see better in these lighter colors. My arm up on top of Sheila. Girl, are you taking a bath? Yeah, this will be a good spot. And I'm going to make an extra one down in here to make it an even 40. Oops, I split you, didn't I? Yes, I did. Now, the foundation, well, I guess this was the first foundation. So anyway, chain 2, turn your work. If you've never done Granite stitch, it's a fabulous stitch. And reversible, looks great on both sides. Going to skip the first 2 stitches. This is the second foundation, the second setup row. Okay, so I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way across. Have 2 stitches left. I'm going to skip this one and crochet, single crochet, no chain 1, and single crochet. I have an extra stitch. What to do? At the end of the row, you should only have 2 stitches left, and so what you do is chain 1, then single crochet in the next 2 stitches without a chain 1 in between. But because I am going to fix a mistake quickly, and it's not a huge mistake, so I'm just going to single crochet 2 together. Get rid of that bulb looking thing sticking out on the edge. See, so it brought that in. Except I think I split that. Yeah, I did. If you ever need to do some little fix like this, just go in and pull it up. Oops, I didn't get the whole thing that time. There we go. And then just come through all 3. Yeah, I got rid of that little knob sticking out there. So end with chain 2. turn, and then this is the granite stitch row and all rows. Skip the first 2 stitches, those last 2 that were created, skip those, go into the space that was created by the chain 1. See, there's a single crochet, there's single crochet, there's the space. Going to go into the space and single crochet, chain 1. And do that to the end. Once again, you'll end with 2 single crochets. Did I say double crochet again? Yeah, I've got that on the brain. Bless you, Kolo. Kolo's new kitten. I adopted her last week from the shelter. And she is settling in very well. I may have told you that Bravo thinks she may be venomous, but he's warming up to her. And Jack Russell terrorist Sheila fluctuates between adoring her and want to baby her and get out of my way. And Kolo seems to be adapting very well. Okay, so there's the last space. Gonna single crochet. Kolo, down. Thank you. And that chain, gonna go into that first chain and do a single crochet there. Chain 2. And turn. And do it again. Skip the first 2. Go into the space, single crochet, chain 1 to the end, and then end with 2. Going to continue on with this probably 14, 16 inches because it's going to be folded in half to make the pocket. So continue as far as you like, and I'll meet you when we're ready to fold. Okay, I think I finished the pocket. Let's see. Yes, right at 14 inches for the pocket. So it'll be 7 inches whenever it's folded in half. I haven't entirely decided. Okay, I'm either going to do single crochet, where I will go to a smaller hook, or crab stitch. I'm going to do single crochet. I'll go to a smaller hook. I was using a J, or I was using a K, and I'm going to go down to a J. Don't have the millimeters in front of me. I absolutely love Furl's hooks. Have totally fallen in love, but I do wish they had millimeters on them. Okay, so I'm going to do single crochet all the way across. All I did is finish my last stitch over here, and I'm just going to do a single crochet. Tighten that up a little bit. And I'm going to do a single crochet in that first. I'm going to do it in every single crochet and every space between every chain space. Did I slip right there? No, I did a stitch. Okay. Get into the rhythm doing that granite stitch and start chaining every other one. Let's see how that looks. Oh, it's a little bit loose. I'm going to go down one hook size smaller. So this is an eye. See how that looks? Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, now I'm going to pull this through, but I'm going to leave enough to do the sewing, to sew up that side. Pull that through. Get a needle. And again, thank you Teal Yarn Crafts for the fabulous tip on how to thread a needle. Now I am simply going to fold this and try to line up bumps if I can. So the rows are matching. Let's see how we did. Yeah, looks pretty good. And I'm going to put I love liking stitch markers. Use them for everything. Now I'm going to do a simple side to side. I'm saying it called everything under the sun. I think it's just mattress stitch. I think it's mattress stitch is what I learned it as. So you're just going under similar stitches on each side. That's why I lined up my bumps like that. And then I'm going part way into the fabric. Not pulling it tight, at least not yet. Because it's not a misnomer to call it an invisible stitch because it does disappear. Oopsie. If we don't have knots in it. And to be completely honest, it's not something I've used much with crochet. It's something I've used for decades with knitting. But that granite stitch is so symmetrical, it's easy to match up just like knitting is. Sometimes crocheted stitches are not easy to match up, for me, which I will completely attribute to lack of experience because most of my yarn life has been in knitting, even though I learned crochet first. And I see people often posting questions about which should I learn first. I always recommend people learn crochet first. That's a chance to get your tension. Handling, there are a few removing parts. So I think it's easier to get control of things like tension, which is so, as you know, is so important, particularly in the beginning. It can be the most discouraging thing in the beginning. Even if you get all your counts right and everything else, if your tension is off. Take our stitch marker. Let's see how we look. And yeah, that's good. Don't need to tug or anything. And see, it can be called invisible because that's the inside. And there's no show. It's just the color's not matching up, but there's no show of a seam on either side. And so all I'll do here is I'm going to do a little bit extra down here in the bottom. Nobody likes to discover things missing out of a pocket. Go right back in there. Now, one of the many great things about the Granite stitch is weaving in ends is so easy. Just go along, work in the middle of the stitches. Of course, I could have cut this off to make this a little bit easier. And then go around another stitch and then come right back through. And because this is a pocket, I'm going to go again. Often I would just leave it with just one work back like that. But this is a donated, this is going to be donated to a senior home, and I hope it gets lots of use and lots of love and lots of wear. So I want to make sure nobody ever panics because I'm going to pull that a little bit, snip it off, and then pull it a little bit to make it disappear. All right, so that was one side of the pocket. And as you can see, it is invisible. Yeah. So very nice seam there. Seam up the other side. And well, I won't even seam that up right now because I'll go ahead and pick up the stitches. Hold on just a moment. Okay, hook again. And now on the other end, okay, this was where I began. And so I am just, what I usually, I'm not going to even say usually, it's whatever mood I'm in, I think. No sense being misleading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, put my slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to go into this first area here, pull you through like that, and yeah, you can go under there, not going to hurt anything. There's our first stitch, and so I'm going to do those groups of 3 again. Okay, so that's the first one, and second, and third. Then I'm going to do the 3 and 3, just like on the other end for the pocket, and want to end up with 40 stitches, pardon me, to begin the Granite stitch. One thing, and want to do 14 inches in length in the Granite stitch again, but one tip, because I've already had to rip out the pocket of one pocket scarf, was make sure whenever you begin to sew up your pockets that you have that you're sewing the pockets on the correct side. Now, because of the stitch that I'm using, I guess it really wouldn't matter. You could flip it inside out. It wouldn't matter with the stitch that I'm sewing it up with. But anyway, yeah, make sure you're folding the pockets in the direction you want them to be, so you don't have to undo it and go back. And I will see you whenever the sewing's all done. See you then.